Hello everyone and welcome to Real Time with NEPCON China 2018. I'm Steven Las Marias and joining me today is Harald Eppinger, Managing Director of Koyang Technology. Harald, thank you very much for joining us today. So first, can you please tell us just a brief intro about Koyang for those who may not be familiar with the company?
Koyang is, I think, one of the leading companies in inspection technology, especially SPI, pre-reflow, post-reflow.
Yep.
And also extending this kind of business into pin inspection and MOI business. So inspection is our business.
All right. So basically, are you you're taking care of the European side?
Yes, I'm responsible mainly for the European market and establishing the business and supporting the local partners, also the customers there. Yeah, the subsidiary management. Yeah.
All right. So, what are the latest technologies that you're showcasing here at the show this week?
I think mainly it's the continuously improvement of the machine itself. We are having here the latest, call it, innovations with this higher throughput, higher resolution in SPI, or as well in AOI. Also the new products, as I mentioned before, pin inspection is the press fit technology is very, very important, also in automotive. And as an umbrella, we show the Key Smart solutions, which is getting all the data, gathering from the machine and getting the process transparent. That is one of the biggest highlights we show here on the show.
What are the challenges that these technologies are trying to address?
The massive amount of data, which increased by smaller components and higher throughput, makes it more difficult for the humans to understand the process and to improve the process. Improving process is the most important thing. A bad process costs you a lot of money.
That's right.
So process stability is one of the goals. And getting the data and transferring, let me say, into process optimization, that's one of the most challenging things because the humans cannot detect anymore the small differences of process optimization. You're not talking anymore catching a defect. That's a must. But be preventive in actions to prevent the defect. I think that's the goal and that's the challenge in the moment.
All right. And then I think in that regard, is that where AI comes into play?
Yes, I think this is one of the factors. If you reconsider that a human has to review a big yellow book and compare two yellow books, what is the difference in printing if somebody is missing a side, a page? We are talking missing a character in this print. So the amount of data which we grab from a board, which we analyze in measurement values, is just too much for humans. So you would be busy like hell for a single board analysis. AI can help to detect the anomalies in a process, the link to a process, to a machine, to a component, and this is a clear instruction to the operators, but not only the line operators, it could help to manage the lines and even the purchasing processes because of the quality of the problem, the influence in the manufacturing process based on a component getting visible. Managing the data and be much more clever than humans can be in analyzing the amount of data. That's AI came on board. Make our life easier would be the nice word.
Yeah, and Koyang is really is a company making a big push towards having more powerful AI in their systems.
Of course, we created extra an R&D center for this, and it's based in San Diego because we figured out that the most experienced and knowledgeable people, and they contributed already with a short time in our company. Contributed a lot with significant developments. You can see the results, how powerful AI can be, and it's not only a marketing gig; it's really in execution, and this is important. This is very important.
You mentioned San Diego, right?
Yeah.
I remember we were at the Apex last February, and Koyang is part of the CFX factory, the demo.
Yeah.
So what is the importance of that demo to the industry?
I think we have to be a little more precise. We have two aspects here, new groups, new organization, new formats has been established. Hermes as a horizontal communication to get, let me say, the production line transparent.
Right.
The technology within this, getting the data, and then you have a vertical communication into the world of MES. I think it's not a one solution, one channel solution recommended. We need to have transparent and the horizontal layer and a vertical layer. And being a member in the CFX is helping us to get the standards clean, that we can provide good solution for the customers. Being in a leading role in the industry, you also have the responsibility to be innovative in this kind of new standards, to make our life easier and to find a proper way to communicate to our customers and also deliver for them a benefit. Not only as a machine provider, as a driver, but through standardization and through innovation. And that's the reason why we joined this group. The communication on different levels is important.
All right. Are there still issues that need to be ironed out in CFX?
There will be always. You know, this industry never
Yeah.
stops. If you stop innovation, the industry will be gone.
That's
so
right.
therefore, I would not say there is, we are finished. We are in an early stage. And with every further step, you will see that there's a next level to improve.
Right.
So it's in a good way and it's a good mood. The communication starts, and very important is that a lot of customers and a lot of vendors understand that there is a need to get to this kind of platforms, communications, as unified communication.
All right. Harald, we're here in China now. What are the opportunities you're seeing in this market?
Also for me, as a European representative, I would say it's quite hard to see how big is the market and how specific is the market.
Okay.
When we are talking about a big site, we are talking about a few SMT lines. When they are talking about a big site here, they add a few numbers and multiply. But I think the dynamic of Asia, the dynamic of China is incredible. I think it's a very promising area and very promising business.
So, how do you find the competition in this region?
There's in every region competition. It's a matter where you would like to go. We believe that we can offer premium products and premium solutions, and you have also always a market where you can start in a low area and a high area. So it's hard to compare the competition, but every customer has to decide on his own how much he would like to spend for a solution. As I mentioned before, there are still a lot of machines who focus on the gatekeeping aspect in the business. This is good enough to get the quality somehow stable, but to be competitive in the near future, and I can tell you in regions where labor costs are much higher, you need to have all these add-on features to be competitive, because you cannot just put another people in the rework. You have to get rid of the false code, you have to have quick programming, quick analysis, everything in real time. And I think that's the difference between the competitors, and at the end the customer has to decide by a proper analysis, and we hope that he will do the right selection.
All right, and then I think if I remember correctly before, the manufacturers are just, they're not really putting a lot of thought in inspection. They think it's just a value. Just another step in the line. But then more and more, their customers are asking them to have these inspections in the line.
That's true. There's a clear trend in the last years, or let me say last 10, 15 years. Production was on focus to increase the throughput. But just increasing the throughput does not mean that you get more out.
Right.
And I think every market in the world has realized that the first pass yield is the most important things to get to be competitive. You cannot throw away boards which are expensive. And the smaller structures are making it impossible to do a rework.
Right.
So these two aspects is very clear, that you need to have sensors, and I'm not talking about inspection machines, I'm talking about sensors who realize the deviation from a process and trigger the people to improve and to stabilize.
Right.
And I think this is even not only forced by the customer, it's even the understanding of the manufacturers, EMS, OEMs, that without this knowledge they are not able to fulfill customers' expectation of a high top quality.
That's right.
And even for low priced products, people expect a certain quality. And that cannot be done by rework. So this is only done by stabilizing the processes. So it's very clear, it's a demand from end customers, but also it's an internal finding that you need these tools to be on the safe side. You can say, yes, I believe our quality is top, and I can prove it to you by the documents, by the statistics.
All right, Harald. So the industry is industry 4.0 is coming. How are you helping customers in their, from your perspective, how are you helping them in their journey towards a smarter manufacturing?
I think, as I mentioned, first of all, getting the machine smarter and more trustful, that you can really believe what the machine is telling you. That is the issue, especially in the inspection. There was always the discussion of false code programming time, programmers' capability to get to a certain point. This is one part, get the machine more stable in the result and build up the trust from customer into the machines. That's one part. Then getting the result under control, collecting this more significant data from a board, and then utilize them and visualize it for the operators. Because operators are typically hesitating to analyze data, because in an extra burden, you are busy enough with the line and you get an extra data to analyze. And this combination to get a better understanding and to treat these people with pre-processed data, that they're easy to understand what to do. This is the step forward. How we believe that this goes forward into the action and into the positive understanding, and let me say, make our life easier.
All right, Harald. Last year, the whole majority of the industry are saying that they've seen significant growth. I'm sure Koyang did very great as well. How do you see it this year? How do you see the industry moving forward this year?
Every time after a good year, you question mark, it will be continue or will be a crisis, and I can say we don't see any crisis upcoming. We have good business in all over the world, in every region. It's amazing how the industry grows, and we are participating from this growth quite successful.
That's good to hear. Harald, thank you very much for your time. Do you have any final comments?
Thanks very much to be invited to give you a comment, and looking forward to see you in one of the next shows, wherever this will be. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's Harald Eppinger, Managing Director of Koyang Technology. And I'm Stephen Las Marias. Thank you very much for joining us.